better version. It has a sick intro screen.
Yeah.
Fuck the Wii version.
That's good. You're gonna wanna sit down and tweet and
break my leg into a million pieces. Yeah.
Feel free to log into my account and tweet from there too. It's all just saved on 33%. 13 hours elapsed, but that's because I left it on all day.
Oh, there.
Dendrona drifts. It's weird because like you make a lot of progress in the early game because like you're constantly getting items and shit. But then when it gets like a longer distance between stuff, your percentage is going up way slower.
Yeah. You just gotta grind, man. I played this game very recently. Very recently, I mean like maybe a year ago.
You beat it?
I did. I almost got done with Prime 2, but I was like, too much backtracking.
This song.
It's dope.
This song sounds exactly like a song that's in Tetrosphere. Particularly the doop 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 that's in the background.
Wait,
like
all this time.
It's literally like the Fendrana Drift's main melody combined with fucking Tetrosphere. I don't know how I never noticed until now. As I am the world's premier expert on the Tetrosphere section. Wait, what it is?
I'm seeing the fun that you guys did for the last stream. Made a huge mistake.
Why?
Didn't have any sounds. How are we gonna get the views if we don't have Sam is showing some skin?
I don't really remember where I'm going. I know I just accomplished something.
We just take a picture of some fucking slutty cosplayer.
Why didn't it do the thing it usually does where when you start up the game it gives you like a Z button prompt to like know what the hell is going on?
I guess it thinks you're not that retarded and you can make it happen by yourself.
But I am that retarded. Well, I definitely came, like, this is where I got, the last thing I got was like over here. So, oh my god, I love this fucking song!
It's pretty hype.
It's one of my favorite video game OST tracks. It's the Fendrana Drift's OST. Oh god, I hate platforming in this fucking game!
It's like the whole game. I got some bad news for you, dude. It's like the game.
I think I was, so the reason I'm playing this game is that I want to do like a big analysis video on it. Cause like, did you see that tweet I made like shortly before you entered the hospital that was like, if you guys could request any game to have like a long form analysis, what would you request?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like...
I got a lot of responses.
Yeah. One of the very first ones was Metroid Prime, and it was funny because I was like, we had planned to do Metroid Prime back at, like, way back, when like the conceit of the channel was that I watch you play a video game and then I do an analysis video on it. And then I was like, but, you know, since then I've just been doing videos, like, regardless of that, you know, like, just playing games myself and doing analysis videos on them. So then I thought, like, well, since I'm doing a series on GameCube, and since, you know, Metroid Prime 4 is still on the way, it doesn't make any less sense than it did then. It's still a good idea, it's just not a good game for me watching you play to do an analysis on, you know? It's a game that if I wanted to cover it, I'd want to play it myself, so here I am. It's also not preposterously long, and surprisingly, there isn't really a great long analysis of this game.
What? That's impossible.
Yeah, there's no like there are some that exist, but they're not amazing.
Oh. I figured people would be all over this shit.
I don't know how you break this particular ice. I'm guessing that you get super bombs later.
It's either super bombs or super missiles.
I just fired a super missile at it.
Well, then it ain't a super missile.
Alright, let's get the fuck out of Fendrona Drifts.
With that badass beat, my dude. This whole soundtrack's banging, though. So.
It is. It's fantastic. But yeah, so because I'm playing this thinking of it analytically, I've been, you know, constantly running through my head different things. First of all, I thought of one control addition that could have, like, balanced a significant amount of the frustration with this game.
Okay.
Quick turn.
Quick turn would be sick.
And the best way to do it would be either R or L plus X. Because, like, any other buttons on the control... Like, every button is used in this game, and a lot of them are used in combination. But, like, X is just the morph ball, and you'll never use that in combination with another button. So if they had just made it so, like, R plus X was just a quick 180, it would... Because, like, a lot of the times when you fall off of platforms into, like, say, the lava, you immediately try to jump backwards, because it takes so long to turn around that your instinct is to just hold back and jump, but then you overshoot the platform again because you can't fucking see it. So I think quick turn would have been a huge advantage for that. There's guys everywhere.
Check the chat, I haven't done tweeting.
Yeah.
Tome is old. You can't even see anymore. I don't know what that's in reference to. We have cookies. I really want to see a Jet Set Radio future analysis video. We do have that game.
I don't know anything about it. I've played it.
Understand the concept of love! That's all I know about it. What else do you really need to know?
I'm guessing this will also be a super bomb.
So I'm assuming you play this after the stream, because you're obviously more than a few hours into
Oh
the
yeah,
game.
I definitely hit them continuously. I've got some confidence that I'll be able to do it this time. Because I've never beaten this game.
Really?
No.
There's a little bit of a grind near the end, but not nearly as bad as the 1 and 2.
The main thing that, like, about this game is that, like, you really, really need to save at every opportunity you find. And, like, that, and, because there's so much distance between save points, and, like, even just regularly traversing the world, you might end up dying. Like...
Yeah, we gotta know your shit.
So, like, I've had moments where, you know, I'd made, like, pretty significant progress, but I just didn't bother saving on the way to the next area and fucking died in the lava or something. I don't know how you progress in this particular room.
Man, everyone is super fucking pissed that I'm not immediately reading the chat. Calm down, guys. We're discussing a video game on a video game stream. Can you believe it? It hasn't developed into talking about our personal lives or anime yet.
Yeah, I got thoughts on the game. I wonder if a lot of our audience just doesn't even care about video games at all.
You know, I wouldn't even be surprised. That should be the poll we're running on our Twitter. It's like,
yeah.
How much do you even give a fuck about games? Or is it just another excuse to masturbate? Should Metroid Prime 4 get rid of save points?
No.
No. I don't
No.
think... I wouldn't trust an autosave system. I'm assuming that's what
Okay,
they're
well
doing.
let me I wasn't complaining about the saves being far apart. I was just trying to say that you have to account for that in how you play the game.
Sure.
And what I convinced myself, the phrase that I developed in my head is, you have not made progress until you've saved. So like picking up items, you know, like making literal game progress. Don't even think of that as progress. If you haven't saved your game, that can all go away in an instant. So
it's kind of unforgiving in that aspect, but I think thematically it works really well.
Yeah, and like the thing is, the reason I never beat this game is I as a kid, this game was like kind of foreboding for me. Like, you know, it's easy to get lost. It's kind of a difficult game. So I don't think I ever played like a whole shitload of it as a kid, but I watched my cousin play through most of it, and sometimes this map gets really confusing. So you can't tell which way is up. Ooh, I haven't been through whatever that door is down there. Just like looking for doors I haven't been through to see if that's where I need to go. I can't believe it didn't give me a Z thing.
It'll eventually. Once it realizes you have no fucking idea where you're going, it's like, alright, idiot.
Yeah. Maybe if I just start going backwards. Because oftentimes I've noticed that it's just when you turn around and you start going the other way for a couple rooms or something, then it'll be like, hey, dipshit, I've noticed you're running around like you have no idea what's going on.
You know, it's interesting. Nobody really...
Maybe I'll just go to the overworld.
Nobody ever really gave this game shit for having that system, but everyone was super pissed about Metroid Fusion telling you where to go. I suppose this one's a little bit more forgiving, but...
Well, the problem with Metroid Fusion is that it forces you to be told where to go.
Right.
Like, in this game, it's like a little prompt will come up, and it tries to... Like, if you play through... I think if you were to consistently do exactly what you need to do at all times, it would not ever come up. But like, in Fusion, it was like... You start a level and they just literally tell you where to go.
Well, to get back to the chat, a bunch of people said they cared a lot about games. Then someone said they cared about the gays, and then everyone agreed they cared about the gays.
Oh, well, that's good.
And good to know we have a progressive audience.
Yeah. I mean, half our audience probably is gay, so
yeah.
There's that too.
Tio says, I only got like 80% through this game, and even had one of those in-depth guides, and my retarded 10-year-old self couldn't get it. Still my favorite game ever.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I loved the game from a distance, because, I mean, it's cool as shit to just, like, look at and watch. I'm guessing you need the screw attack to make it up through the screen.
I don't think there's a screw attack in this game. You have a double jump for them. Did you get a double jump yet?
Yeah, I got the double jump. I thought you did get screw attack.
I don't think so.
Because you just, like, kind of jump endlessly.
Is that the prime one? I don't know.
I mean, I don't
you might
know
need the
how
hook
else.
shot as well.
That's true. I don't see any hook shot.
For the grapple beam.
Oh, you know what? There's one right there. So that probably is what it is. But yeah, yeah, I could never make it far, but I watched my cousin play through most of it, and even he never beat it. So I've never seen the actual ending of the game. I've never seen El Final Boss.
It's pretty sick.
Except for like in a screen cap and Nintendo Power or something. But
everybody, let's raise a glass to Reggie for announcing he's retiring from Nintendo. What a sad day.
Why is he retiring? Here's my fucking scan data.
He's been fucking president for 15 years. He wants to go be a family man.
So he's just retiring entirely, like from everything. Okay, I
sounds like
it. The frigate. I should have probably guessed that. So here's one of the things about this game that makes. Actually, this is kind of what I was building towards here. Is that I think that the biggest problem with every Metroid game is the platforming. And it's because in order to make these games make sense, where they want to have like a really dense world where like you go around and you really have to memorize your way around. But like it's hard to do that while making traversal challenging enough that it takes a while. Because like if you could just haul ass through the game world, then it would feel like the Castlevania games where you just kind of fucking like no area is really memorable because you don't spend much time there. But this game has the opposite problem of that, because there's like so many vertical shafts that you can easily fall down. Then it means that if you're good at the game, then this will not be a problem at all. Like if you play it enough that you master the controls and you never fall in the platforming segments, then you'll just be like, yeah, man, fucking.
Have you gone here before?
Yeah.
You've done this whole level before?
Yeah.
Alright, because like the water part is the worst. I hate it.
Well, that's the thing.
Super fucking annoying.
So I already came here too early, and that's why I'm bitching and whining. Because the Frigate Crash site is an area where it's a ton of vertical shafts underwater. And it lets you make a lot of progress into the level.
I did the same thing, so I'm 100% with you on this.
Yeah. It lets you make it pretty far in before you get to a impassable door.
My assumption was that, oh, this is a pain in the ass. I'm going to get the gravity suit in here, and then getting out is going to be fine. And that's not how it works.
And like, in fairness, the game, you know, it does tell you to go to Fendrana Drifts, but like, because there's, you know, every time you see a pathway that you can explore, you want to go try to explore it to see if you can pick up something that will help you in the next area. You know, like, I always try to run back through and, like, go through every unopened door and see if there's any secrets there. So, like, because I could come here, I did. And it was, like, getting back out is a nightmare if you don't have the gravity suit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like super long vertical platforming, and if you fall, you have to fucking do it again, and it's slow, and it's shit.
You're just locked in molasses, and it's just, it's the worst part of the game. I mean, I guess it's saying something. The worst part of the game is you being too stupid to go the wrong place, but the fact that they enabled it in the first place is kind of...
It's like, why?
Kind of a grind.
Why did you let me do this? Why did you let me fuck myself this badly? So yeah, that was annoying, but like, it speaks to an issue in general that like the worst part of Metroid in all the games is falling down those fucking vertical shafts. Because it's true in the 2D Metroids as well. Like, there's tons of these huge vertical rooms where it's just platform after platform after platform, and it's not really an interesting challenge. And like, they'll always put enemies on those platforms in such a way as to knock you the fuck down and make you start back from the bottom, and it is infuriating. It's really funny how much faster you do progress through this place with the gravity suit on, though. Like,
yeah, because there's no more resistance of the water, and your like vision gets clouded for a while too. It's annoying. Yeah. Jalen Harris is gifting 1 Tier 1 sub to I Am Games community. It is their first gift sub in this channel. Gifted a Tier 1 sub to Domo KMS. I guess we're doing that today.
So I still don't know how you're supposed to get through this door.
I think you have to activate some switches, like with the X-ray thing. You gotta like find where the shit comes from.
So that was the other thing, is that this is a great thing about this game, but also a big part of what makes it difficult if you're not on your toes, is that you really got to remember everything you have at your disposal at all times. Yeah. Because after coming all the way down here and then getting to this door, I then just headed back out, assuming that I had gone to the wrong place. And it was only after I'd headed back out that I went, oh fuck, you know what? It's probably just something you have to do with the wave beam to open that door. And I hadn't scanned anything or thought about it just because I just assumed I'd gone the wrong way, you know?
Yeah.
And like, you really, I mean, this is like a thing in all Metroid games, but like, it's the kind of thing that I don't want to say it's a problem, because if anything, it's part of the point. Yeah,
Sure.
And once you know that, it's like you develop good habits as a gamer. You know, if you pay attention to what's going on. But like, nonetheless, I've managed to make that same mistake every single fucking time I've played this game somehow. It was only after making the mistake that I remembered having made it before.
Bill Murray in the Shades. You should set sub goals like other streamers do.
We have a sub goal. It is what, 65, and then we'll take the streams more seriously or something like that.
Yeah, we have 54 out of 65 sub points. I don't know what those mean because we have 48 subscribers.
Oh, is that the case?
Yeah, I don't really know. They don't.
Maybe it's how many unique subscribers you have had, because maybe not everybody has resubbed.
It's a fucking mystery, dude.
Ooh, I'm guessing I'm gonna get the power bombs here. Foreign technology present.
So, yeah, you guys are watching I Am Games, the least on-brand stream on Twitch TV.
Yeah, in case you were wondering what you were looking at. And I'm playing the video game this time. Ah, what the fuck was that?
Cernak47 in all caps. Why are you playing with hints on? What is this casual shit? Not impressed.
See, there you go. You can turn off hints too. So it's even better than Fusion again.
Keyblade, please actually make the big comment tier 1 emote. It's been months. I had a night. I was saying in the chat.
Dude, you could do that right now.
I could do that.
You could do that while I'm playing.
Can I just go in the settings somewhere and do that?
As long as nobody's going to be bothered that you're ignoring chat to do that. I mean, you go into... The thing is that you need to have the icons on hand, because you'll have to re-upload them. Which is why I've never done it.
That's fucking... I don't even know... You made it, so I don't even have the graphic anywhere.
Oh, did I make the graphic? That's true.
You made the big one. I do not have it.
We could make a new one.
We were also talking about making Big Com 3 emotes that you had to put in a row, and only tier 3 people could use it. And
could use it all the way.
Real assholes.
Mean, it has to be that like that each of them makes sense on their own, but only with all 3 do you have the truly Big Com.
Right, yeah.
That would be...
That would take some like thinking on my part.
They were probably down that shaft that I just came up. Yep. Can I hit it from here? That would be too easy.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of this mechanic. It's cool, but at the same time, like they like this, they go out of their way to make it kind of like, oh, of course, you know?
Yeah.
But sorry. Wow, they're shitting on our intro for being low energy. Man, I just got over the flu. Cut me some slack, dude.
Yeah, dude, Tom is basically dead.
Yeah.
I was going to do some kind of fundraiser for you, but I didn't know like what like to ask for really.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because like first I was just gonna say, hey, just give Tom, like just give us money for Tom.
I mean, does there really need to be a specific reason to hold a fundraiser for me at this point? I mean, just look at my life in general. It's falling apart at the seams.
So like, whichever one I haven't got seems to be like the middle child of the 3. But where the fuck was he?
I feel like this last one was kind of a pain in the ass to play. I have vague flashbacks of this game because it hasn't been too long ago that I played it.
That's kind of like the problem I run into playing it, is that like even though I've let's just right in there. So, even though it's the second one, but yeah, it's like I've played it before. Let's scan it. I can Percussive blast should destroy the list. I mean, would a regular super missile work? Oh, I guess I didn't need power bombs. Hey!
Feels good. Do a Kickstarter for getting Tom a robot body. God, I wish.
Do you want to be like a Senguji from Psycho-Pass? Do you remember who that was? The old guy who literally, like, the only thing that wasn't robot was his brain.
Yeah, that guy's a badass.
Always thought it was weird that he chose to be an old guy, though. Like, if your whole body is cybernetic, why would you choose to?
Because then you can be unassuming. No one would expect you to fucking like bust out like a sword from your arm and gank people. Just think you're an old man. What does it matter?
I guess it doesn't matter. I guess that's just his aesthetic.
More like Senguchi, says Dark Sandal Dark.
Senguchi?
Yeah. Tom or Gigi, what makes a good tutorial level? Just go watch Sequelitis.
Yeah. I mean, this game is a great tutorial level. See, that's the thing, so there was, like, not to say that there were no attempts at long videos about this game, but the only one that was, like, even remotely, like, watchable was one that's, like, an hour long, but, like, it was just kind of explaining the same kind of basic, it's like, so this first level serves as a tutorial. It teaches you all the mechanics. You'll learn that you have to do this and this, and I'm like, okay, well, if you are playing the game and thinking about it, you should know this shit. Like, this is the same shit that's already been talked about and covered in Sequelitis and other places. What is unique about this game? You know, like, having a good tutorial level, any well-designed game should have that, you know? So, like, it's not, like, and Metroid games have always been known for teaching the player extremely well. There's a bunch of analysis videos pointing that out about Super Metroid, for instance. So, so what I thought was a lot more interesting about the starting level is the amount of environmental storytelling that's in it. That you show up there, and even though you're being taught the mechanics of the game, you're also learning the story of the game entirely through the details of the environment, you know?
Sure.
And, like, scanning shit, and it's also interesting that, like, while the game is teaching you how to play it, because it's teaching you, like, oh, you need to scan and stuff, like, the stuff you actually scan is giving you story information, you know? So it's like, yeah.
It's probably like, you know, like a Matthew Matosis video on this or whatever.
Well, you know, he can only cover so many games. I wouldn't be surprised if the Metroid Prime games were on his list, but I also don't know if he really has played them.
I don't know, it's almost like the critical consensus on Metroid Prime is Masterpiece. So, like, it almost seems like...
Well, dude, you know what the weird thing is? Is that the most famous video that I found about this game was called The Critical Flaw of Metroid Prime. And it was, like, a 30-minute video that had, like, 300,000 views that was basically this guy, like, shitting on it. But I could not figure out what the critical flaw was, because the video is 30 minutes, and it did not get to the point in any kind of timely fashion at all. Like, I got really fucking... Like, I even observed Wadsworth's Constant and skipped a third of the video, and still, like, it had not gotten to the point, so...
You really gotta state your thesis up front, guys.
No, I could tell he was doing it on purpose. Like, he was trying to take as long as possible to get to the point, because it was written in a very YouTuber clickbait kind of way.
Well, I guess that's why it has 300,000 views.
Yeah. It was fucking really obnoxious. But I was like, I don't really want to hear about what you consider to be Metroid Prime's critical flaw, because obviously it's a beloved game that is good, you know? Like, I want... That's not
what if his one flaw was there was no quick time?
I don't know, like, it was that, I guess I had developed, through watching any of the videos, so little trust for him as a critic that I could not take seriously whatever was going to be his critical flaw, you know?
Sure.
Even if he was right, I wouldn't have been able to believe it, coming from that guy. Let me know in the chat if any of you have seen that video and like what actually was the flaw that he was talking about. Oh, how did I get it?
Well, did you forget about wave beam panels in every single room? Find out next episode of I Am Games.
Look, I didn't expect the entire fucking level to be nothing but wave beam panels.
Yeah.
I guess I should have. The game is not usually like this. It's not usually like very repetitive challenges.
Ninja Jeff says, I can't put into words how fucking comfy this area is. It's comfy now that you have the gravity suit.
Yeah. The music is also very relaxing and chilled out. Where do I need to be positioned to do
You know what I'm realizing right now watching you play this?
Yeah.
These parts were much easier on the Wii because you had the motion controls, so it's much easier to aim subtly.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that they prefer this game on the Wii because of that. And I understand that, but I don't like having to push the, push the reticule up against the side of the screen to turn the screen.
Sure.
I find that to be,
You just gotta turn the sensitivity up a bit, it's not a big deal, that's what I did.
I also just figured, you know, I am the GameCube guy, so I'd rather talk about the GameCube classic original.
It's true.
Remakes are different games, and they should be treated as such.
I want a new comfy GameCube Forever video, says Copex Digiboy.
That's what we're working on, bro. That's what this is.
It's a work in progress. You're seeing it happen live. You're seeing the pieces come together. Did you watch The Completionist?
No.
Jesus,
Cannot sit through The Completionist. Not my cup of tea. I respect that he actually does complete the games, but he's totally uninteresting.
See, Ninja Jeff is with me. Critical flaw of the Wii version is the title screens of the original games are not there, so you're skipping out on some sick beats. That was the first thing I complained about.
Yeah, we talked about that on the last time we streamed Metroid Prime.
Pancakes with Craters. The best kind of Prime is subscribing with Twitch Prime to I Am Games. Get on it, motherfuckers. It is kind of unforgivable that they do that.
I don't know if I have to go up there, I just want to.
You're just an item up there.
Oh, hell yeah, it's a fucking energy tank. Of course I want that.
You gotta do it like a little bit before you start falling.
That was too...
Fuck.
Yeah! Fuck yeah. Did not expect that. I'm sick.
It's always nice to find an energy tank just in the middle of nowhere. Gives your life more meaning.
It's interesting that it didn't really even expect you to do any more fall jumps like that. That was just if you wanted an extra technical challenge to get that fucking boost.
So what do you think about the problem with Metroid in that if you're trying to go for 100%, eventually all the items stop mattering and it's just about making the percentage go up? Because you get to a point in these games where all you have are missile tanks and energy tanks and bomb tanks to collect. And you get to a point where, like, I have so many fucking missiles it doesn't even matter anymore. You know, getting 5 more missiles on top of the, like, 200 I have is inconsequential.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would say that that's generally what getting 100% is like in a video game. It's like at some point you're not doing it because it will actually benefit you. You're doing it because you want 100%.
I feel like in some games, like especially in Samus Returns, the DS ones, that was like the latest one I played.
I have still not played more than like 20 minutes of it.
That's pretty good. The problem is just that you get so many missiles eventually that, I mean, I did 100% that game. And even before I got to that point, like, far before I got to that point, I'm just like, this is not worth it. You know, because, like, I don't need more missiles. I don't need more bombs. I have so fucking many.
This is genius. This is like an area I'd been to, but
the interconnectedness, dude, it's sexy as fuck.
It is pretty fucking sexy. But what is in that? It's probably a save.
What is your guys' favorite menu music? That's a difficult question. I don't have something off the top of my head I can just whip out.
Bum to the butt to the bum to the bass, bum to the butt to the bumble. Buck Bumble for the N64. You ever heard of that?
The name is familiar, but I don't know anything about it.
It's a obscure N64 game that me and Victor rented one time, and if you just stay on like the main menu, intense radiation.
Gonna need that Phazon suit, my boy.
But where does this other? Phazon Mines East. Oh, is this where the? Is this the big fucking the space pirate place?
Yeah, one of them. There's a couple areas you can get to it.
But anyway, yeah, Buck Bumble. If you sit on the menu, Vic and Hope did a whole gag on it recently on their show where they were playing the Buck Bumble theme song. But like on the main menu, there's this song that just goes like bum to the bum to the bum to the bass, bum to the bum to the bumble, bum to the bum to the bum to the bass, bum to the bum, and like we had rented this game from fucking Blockbuster, and like it had you have to fly around. So it had like flight controls, you know, and like they were too complicated for us to understand as kids. So we basically played like 5 minutes of this game, could not figure out how to play it, and then just exited back to the menu and left it there all day. So in the room, literally all day, it was just bum to the bum to the bum to the bass, bum to the bum to the bumble. And it's never left my mind since then.
When are you gonna rap over it?
I thought about it because when they played the song on Vic and Hope, I was like, I bet I could rap over this.
You gotta give yourself a real challenge like that.
It also made me realize that over the years, because hearing the song for real again made me realize that the version in my head has evolved into something different from what it actually was. Like I've added in all these like extra parts that are not in the real song.
That has happened to me with certain things. I can't think of specifically what it is, but there are some songs like that where I just remember them as a child, but my brain made them evolve into something far different. And then you hear it again, you're like, oh, damn, that's weird. You know, I'm going to Phazon Mines right now.
I'm sure there's probably some in sync songs or something. Something I would feel that way about. No, because it as soon as I got there, it was like, hey, you're going the wrong way. You gotta do this other shit first. And I was like, I just wanted to find a safe point. But if you're gonna insist...
Not allowed!
And then I realized we're pretty close to the ship, I thought.
You gotta, like, the game really rewards you for getting to know the map really well, because once you know it, here's like, yeah, I know where to go to save quickly. I was getting to that point for a while near the end of the game where it's like, yeah, I got my shit down.
Wait, where the hell? What part of the world am I considered? I am in town. Where the hell is the ship?
Not near you.
Connection elevator to deck beta.
Tom, can you play the DMC5 demo again? I think that will help you fill up with life points once more.
Okay, this is where I just came from.
I've played it a bunch of times since then.
From the boat. Because I've been in this room before. But not from... Maybe I did take this out. Where the fuck does this lead to?
It said shows our ruins, right?
Yeah, I thought I had gotten to this room from a different way before, but I guess not. I just want a save point. I just want... Right, this place. I remember. Emotions. I remember. When I was sucking a dick.
Do you make any ad money from Twitch? How do Twitch ads even work? Well, I can run an ad right now. I can run an ad break. I can hit the button.
Do we make money if you do that?
I don't know. I'm gonna hit the button. Everyone tell me what happens. Run ad.
They're gonna have to watch an ad. That's what's gonna happen.
Ad playing. 27 seconds remaining. Remember, you are still live. Some people may not get an ad.
Can they hear us?
The people who didn't get the ad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell us what the ad is for.
Yeah.
I guess you can't if you're watching it. Maybe they'll tell us.
It's the first time we've ever played an ad ever.
Yeah. And they're not missing much. I just went and saved and came back. I can't believe it's 30 fucking seconds.
Dude, there's a... Okay. I can drag the ad from 30 seconds all the way up to 3 minutes.
Whoa.
Pretty fucking brutal.
I guess it's so... I mean, if you're gonna go take a shit or something, you might as well.
I suppose. I guess we've been, fucking that up. You gotta drop down there, and then you gotta quickly re-engage.
Yeah, I do this. Just gotta get...
Man, that was what's cool about, the 3DS one. You use the spider belt everywhere. That's what it's...
That was also true in Metroid 2, the original.
It's because it's a remake, so they kept the mechanics. The fucking best thing about that goddamn game.
It is the best thing.
I want to see him play Red Faction on PC, because they would never complete it without losing it on stream. Like, Red Faction, the original, like the PlayStation 2 one.
We're talking, that's like a tactics game, right? You got RTS?
Red Faction, that's first-person shooter.
What am I thinking?
Command & Conquer Red Alert.
Red Alert, yeah. I always get those confused. Hey, didn't it tell me to come up here? Isn't this where I was headed?
Ew.
Do I have to go through that blue door, and if so, how?
You shoot it with a beam and then it opens.
But where is it?
It's just one of Mike's mysteries.
And I could not figure out where the fuck.
I think you still need the grapple beam, don't you?
I don't see any grapple beam shit.
I remember there being something about this room.
There's something about us I want to say. I guess I just gotta go to the Phazon mines. Maybe that was what it was.
Tom, is a Switch worth it? I think so. I'm glad I have one. I'm stoked for Astral Chain. Looks so fucking sick.
Yeah, I think it was cool. We talked all about it on the Nintendo Direct podcast.
Are we doing a podcast today?
I don't know.
We stopped our daily podcast and I got sick.
Yeah, what do you want to podcast about?
I have no idea.
I kind of ran out of ideas. But, I mean, I'm sure there's games that both of us have played and could talk about. We could just call it, like, game reminiscing or something.
We're getting a lot of fucking flack for not having video.
What do you
in
mean?
the comments? Like, people saying, like, why is there no gameplay footage to these podcasts? Like, there's a very loud subset of people in the comments being like, add something, you lazy cunts.
If you want it that badly, we can, but it literally makes it, like, take way the fuck longer. Like, we have to get game... Like, okay, let's say we did it for that Daimon X Machina game. It would mean that we would have had to set up a video capture, play the game in a location where there is video capture, you know, have something that had enough data capacity to save all that video, then get that video into Vegas and, like, quadruple the render time of the podcast.
It is a pain in the ass. Jalen Harris just gifted a tier 1 sub to Tio. Jalen just fucking throwing the money out today.
He does that sometimes.
Man, you know what I miss? I miss Drunk Toya. Where's Drunk Toya when you need him? It's been a while. He hasn't been around since the Tenchu stream.
What, Drunk Toya?
Yeah.
He's been around since then.
You think?
Yeah.
When was? I mean, he's been in stream, but I just don't know if he's been.
The last time I remember him doing like true Drunk Toya-ness was during the last Shekels for Heckles during RadCon.
Oh yeah, I guess it does count.
I think he was there.
He was. That wasn't a specifically Iron Games venture, so I didn't even think about it. No thank you is our new drunk. Has Tom or Digi ever played an Assassin's Creed game? I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed 2, thought it fucking sucked, and put it down.
If you thought 2 sucked, then there's no coming back. It's like, that's the one that people like.
You just felt shitty and crappy and slow and...
I hate the way movement looks and feels in the Assassin's Creed. I remember when they, like, because my friends were playing it when they first came out, and, like, it wasn't thought of as, like, this gigantic AAA fucking, like, it just wasn't, like, the same way it is today. Because, like, at some point it became, like, normcore shit. Like, it became that game that everybody plays because it comes out every year, you know?
Tommaso Choco Taco subscribed with Twitch Prime! There's a lot of shit going on.
Hell yeah.
Ass Creed is Garbaggio.
Garbage! It's garbage! What'd you think of my JoJo meme?
I thought it was funny. I mean, I didn't understand why everyone was getting so bent out of shape when, like, the first 5 seconds are you gleefully staring at the camera with a smug grin on your face about...
Screaming, I'm not okay.
Yeah, it's just like...
Well, okay, the main reason that people got so mad is because of the tweets that were accompanying it.
You know, I guess that's fair.
Because, like, on Twitter, I was basically like, if you think this show is good, you are wrong and you are the problem with the world. And, like, I even literally at one point say, I sincerely hate everyone who thinks this show looks good, or something like that.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Which, I mean, if anything, the word sincerely should mean insincere. Like, the fact that I said it is the most insincere part of saying it. But, like, I was shit-faced drunk, so I can't even really make too many excuses. Like, if it didn't make any sense, it's because I was shit-faced, you know?
I mean, it was funny. I was almost considering, like, making, like, a translating Digibro's drunken madness and, like, explaining in a calm manner, like, this is what he's actually talking about when he's talking about the video. Just break it down.
There was a really interesting comment in my Discord earlier where this guy was like, you know, I saw Digi's video and, like, I just thought it was funny, but it did make me think, like, well, I think JoJo Part 5 looks great, so let me go watch it and try to figure out why I think it looks good so I can, like, refute Digi's point. So then I went and I watched episode 1 and I realized it looks like garbage, and I just don't know why I didn't notice in the first place. Like, he was like, I think it was just the hype of, like, being excited about a new season of JoJo, or this show that I love, and,
I mean,
like,
I only watched, like, the amount of the footage that you had in that video, because I went and looked at it on, like, non-anime. And I don't even think the characters are animated all that badly. I think the problem for me is that, because I also, like, looked at, like, a different JoJo season just for comparison's sake, and the problem I have with at least that part of that episode is that the backgrounds are drawn bog standard, like, this is the generic kind of, like, painted, soft shaded anime backgrounds, but the characters all have harsh black shadows.
Yeah, that's what I meant by he doesn't look like he belongs in the world that he's inhabiting. Because,
like, one of the other JoJo's backgrounds, they all had, like, really, like, neon harsh kind of colors in the background to make everything, like, look stylized. But it just looks like very, like, stylized drawn characters against generic backgrounds. That doesn't make sense.
As the thing about JoJo is that it varies wildly in quality between each part. And, like part 1, they went for, like, a really, like, outlandish color aesthetic that I think works. But it's just generally ugly because it just seems, I don't know, like they knew they were making something that I don't think they knew if it was going to be successful, basically. So I don't think they were putting as much into it in the beginning.
Kappa says, tell Digi the main video that went viral. Cut out the beginning of the video where he was smiling to make it obvious it was a joke.
That's true.
Well, that's...
So there's also some false news going on there. Have you heard that term?
False news?
No, false news.
Oh, false
or
news.
fake news, rather.
I've not heard fake news.
Razorfist just made it up in his recent video. You heard about this shit with the guy from Empire, right?
Yeah.
Which is the funniest story that I've ever heard in my life. But, what is going on with these guys? Am I hurting them or not?
I know some of these can only be hurt with certain beams. Yeah, I don't think these are done yet.
Because it doesn't look like they're getting hit. I guess they're just braver than the other one. They're like the super elites from fucking Halo. But yeah, so Razorfist coined the term fake news for people pretending to be victims of hate crimes.
Ooh.
Which is becoming a big thing.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about there's like some voice actress who claimed that Vic Mignogna had swatted her? Proven fake.
Yeah, I mean, this shit's everywhere.
It's like what's so weird about it? It's like, dude, you are hurting your side so hard.
Sure.
Like if you do that,
the problem is it doesn't matter because
you
the
take
only
all
people,
credibility away.
But the only people who care about that are people who aren't already kind of like entrenched in that shit. You know, the people they're winning points for aren't going to care that it's fake because they do believe that it's worth faking to bolster.
I think they could potentially lose people that way. I mean,
they'll lose some, but
because some people are gonna really embarrass themselves. Like with the whole Empire thing, Razorfist had showed this clip of fucking Ellen Page on the Colbert show or something like, you know, just giving this whole like rant about Trump's America and how bad things are, but like she uses that as a major example, and it's like, well, now you look like a fucking idiot because you just like based your entire argument on something that was fake,
right.
And like that is incredibly embarrassing, and everyone knows it now. So it's like I think there are some people who are definitely gonna have to like cool their fucking head. I mean, if anything, I guess I'm glad that it's happening because it will make more people think about it. Like,
I think you're giving people way too much credit.
At least a few people will think about it.
I would like to think
at least 10 people will think about it.
Well, I mean that seems like a realistic number, unfortunately. I think you just load it up, right? This is like the most annoying section of the game.
Yeah, this is the part that I was talking about. This is where I got stuck before because it's a really long combat-centric part that has no fucking save point, and you have to fight like a boss at the end of it. You have to fight like a super guy.
There's a couple of those in this area.
And it's like, dude, that's a lot.
The phase-on mines are where... Because, like, the problem is that, like, there's a lot of beam shifting near the end of the game.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And it takes a second.
Yeah, and it's just like, god damn it. You know, I really liked in Fusion how, like, it just combined your beams.
Yeah.
So, like, when you got the beam, you could open all the doors with your just one beam because they all kind of stacked. I understand like there's some more puzzle-centric stuff in this game that would make that not a great idea.
This game and Fusion came out on the same day, so
they did.
It could not have taken any influence from it.
Yeah, so I think the main reason they even did that in Fusion just because they didn't have buttons on the Game Boy to swap beams. But the unintentional consequence is opening doors was not a pain in the ass in the slightest. So while I was sick, I couldn't do anything because I left all my computers here. So I just binged YouTube the entire time, and I got all caught up on Mob Psycho Part 2. And then I just watched nothing but this guy on YouTube called It's a Gundam.
It's a Gundam!
Yeah, that's the intro to his fucking thing. It's like, It's a Gundam! And it was fucking hilarious. That's why I just saw his name. I'm like, I know exactly what this is referencing to.
Yeah.
But he's just like another one of those guys who just talks about how fucked everything is. And like he just has a whole series on Twitch and how fucked Twitch is and how Twitch thoughts rule the world. And
Twitch thoughts.
Yeah, there's a whole thing, dude.
No! What do you mean? There's a whole thing.
Did you know that if you are a woman and you're a student, Twitch will give you $2,000 a semester to stream?
What?
Really?
Yep. Did you know that there are women who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on Twitch just from getting donations by lonely men?
I mean, I believe that, but that's lonely men's fault.
Yeah. This girl got $35,000 in one donation.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and
It's like they all like play on your party and on like league and...
no. Do you know the Twitch thought section of
I mean,
Twitch
think of
now?
it this way: you can either spend 35 grand on a woman because you're married to her, or you can just get it all over with in one go and not deal with the emotional. I don't know.
But
I'm not Dick Masterson. I can't make this joke funny.
there's a section of Twitch called Just Chatting, and that's where all these girls hang out.
Yeah.
They just sit there and wait for money to be given to them.
Yeah.
And it's the most unfortunate thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I mean, again, this is a problem of lonely men.
I agree.
It is a problem of. When you think, because on the latest Dick show, you know who Roosh V is, right?
Yeah.
So, who apparently Ben Saint met once.
Interesting.
Yeah. They like hung out at a bar or something together one time. But like, he called in to the latest Dick show, and it was interesting because he's one of the big game people, pickup artists.
Yeah.
And they were asking him about because Dick's doing this virgin contest where he has like a bunch of virgin listeners to the show, and they're trying to race to see who can get laid first, basically. And so he was asking Roosh, do you have any advice for the virgin contest? And he was saying, well, back when the game was really popular in the mid-2000s, it was mostly for, mediocre men. It was for guys who are, a 5 or a 6 out of 10 who are trying to, fuck hotter girls. Basically a way that you fuck out of your league is what he considered to be the point.
Sure.
But he was like, most of these guys were still guys who had been going to bars and trying to get laid and had some basic social skills. But now we've got guys who are just full-blown autism who have no social skills, who've never talked to anybody or left their house, and it's a whole different ball game from what it was before. And I think that it's capitalizing on that market that's made it so that e-thoughts and shit are possible, because before, it's if you're a hot girl, then you find a guy with a let's say you might date a guy who has a lot of money, but if you can get a guy who has a lot of money to just give the money to you without having to date them, and the guy doesn't even have hope of finding anything better because he has no skills socially at all, then it's just a new market. It's not even the same market as the old one, is the way I look at it.
I think you have to enter the middle one, dude.
Yeah, but I want to do them all and see if there's any secrets.
No, there was this really popular Twitch thought, Amaranth, right?
Yeah, she's the one that we saw playing Just Dance.
Yeah. So,
which inspired us to go and buy Just Dance.
So she apparently has this whole thing on Instagram and stuff where she's been actively looking for a boyfriend, and it came out that she's been married this entire time.
I mean, it's online that she's married.
Yeah, and
that is hilarious.
Okay, but the funny, one of her mods sent this huge fucking message about how betrayed he felt and how I've given you thousands of dollars and I'm leaving. I already went to some other female streamer and gave her a bunch of money. You won't see me around anymore. I'm oh, you really showed her.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
I'm just God, how, just two sides of the same coin of patheticness there.
It's, I mean, there's a lot of fucking nerdy guys with a lot of money who are very lonely and don't realize that they could just use that money to get pussy instead of watching pussy.
I just don't understand,
See, I knew there'd be secrets.
Fucking Pornhub exists. What are you doing?
They just like the idea of a woman being financially reliant on them, which I understand. But if you're not with her, then it's like a, you know, it's just like it like I think it just enforces their masculinity as like guys who have no masculinity, you know, like you have this ideal of like, oh, men are like providers and you can be that, but you know, it's like a really low version of that, you know what I mean?
Oh god. Fun fact, turns out the other streamer that Mod had mentioned had also been married for over a year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tom, are you also secretly married? No. Unfortunately, no. Nor would I really want to be married. Sounds like hell. I've seen what it's done to my fucking family.
I'm in.
Get that cream up, greasy man. Look, Mark's really close to May. That's all I'm saying, right? That's all I'm fucking saying.
Oh god. I think there must be a save room at least in here, right? Like, there's no way they make you do all these puzzles and bullshit without there being any fucking save room.
This is the phase on mines, dude. This ain't a joke anymore. This is real life.
Is this the real life?
Tone, how can I become a mod and send you some mad money? Dude, there's links right below the chat. Do it up.
Open your eyes. Why am I singing this?
Spicy Salt says, who the fuck would marry Tom Lamau? Spicy Salt has no ground to stand on there.
No. Not at all.
Toneho, subscribe with Twitch Prime. Fuck yeah. Jalen Harris has been asking for days now to become a mod.
That is not happening.
Seemingly unaware that we have no mods at all.
Yeah. And also, why in the name of fuck would we elect you to be a mod?
I'm technically a mod.
Yeah, May is technically a mod.
Oh, well, I guess that's true.
Or Mark, I guess, is also technically.
Jalen Harris requests clarification.
Clarification on what?
On why you wouldn't want
Why you tell me a reason I would make you a mod, and I'll tell you why I'm not making you a mod.
If I donate $35,000, will Tom get married? Sure. I could actually afford it at that point. Wise Man says, I don't know if it's ever been said, but your streaming volume is too low.
What element of the streaming volume? Which? Our voices, the game, just in general? Some of those we can fix, and some of them I don't know.
The game sound is too loud. Might be the TV.
Yeah, it could be. Does it sound echoey, or does it just like... It doesn't look like the game sound's even on from where I'm sitting, though. That's... Okay, we don't even see the... We don't even see the bars for the game sound.
Levels are fine, it's fine. Your voices are super quiet, and the game is essentially inaudible. Voice is good. Just in general, make everything louder. Game is super quiet.
I don't know
your
how to do that. Your
voices are super quiet.
Everybody
has their own complaints.
I do not know how to just make it louder, other than you can increase the volume on your speakers. But,
I have the volume maxed out on Twitch, it's quiet in general.
Yeah, we've had that complaint pretty much the whole time, but I don't know what to do about it. Like, there's nothing we can, like... I don't know, is there something we can do about it?
What, make everything louder?
Yeah, how?
I mean, you probably should jack up all the bars on...
The mic audio is at max volume. Look at it.
I mean, can we up the gain on the...
It's at, like, full gain. We're sitting far away, so I always have it just, like, maxed out.
Maybe we just gotta talk louder!
Yeah, I mean... That
legitimately tired me out just doing that.
Yeah?
I'm not good at projecting my voice. I have other fucking things to do. Captain Wiggle Muncher, in my opinion, Jalen Harris would make a very chaotic evil admin.
Yeah, I would say so. Okay, so what I just need to do
The loud
is
talking works. Well, okay! This is how I'm speaking from now on.
I complain about everybody who I record with being too quiet. That's why the mic is way closer to you than it is to me. Well, not way closer, but with both you and May, I always just like try to put the microphone as close to you as possible because I am always projecting my insecurities onto others. Where the this better have goddamn worked. Had to think about the puzzle to solve it. That was the key.
Disgusting.
The key was to think. To hear a sound. Where's the bad? It's one of these fucks.
You have like no health and I want to be careful.
I hope that's a fucking save room. Oh god, it's a bullshit.
There's something down there. But what could it be?
I don't know. But I feel like there is a save room in here. And it probably is just you have to get
Chad, is there a save room close by, or is Digi fucked with 24 energy?
No, I think the save room is at the top of this room. Because I think that might be how I fucked up before. Like, but how the fuck do I even get over there?
Digi, I missed the shitty Digibros thumbnails. Please resurrect that with Iron Games Let's Plays.
We have that with the Digi and May, Let's Plays.
Yeah, isn't May a Blastoise right now?
Yeah, May is a Blastoise. It's fucking awesome. She made that one.
It's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Oh,
We had to get the power bomb and blow that shit out of the way.
No! How can there be no save?
Expect you to be competent in the game by this point, I guess.
It's really hard to dodge enemy attacks in this game.
Are you using the dodge?
Yeah. Sometimes. Oh god.
Just go, just go, just go, just go.
Fuck.
Just go.
There's no way I'm making it.
No,
if there's no save, then I am
the quitter's
dead.
attitude.
What is this?
Oh, you're going deeper. You're going deeper, dude.
I'm going deeper underground.
We're just gonna fucking quit the game if we get to this point. You know, I don't remember dying at this point. There has to be a save point around here somewhere.
You would think so, considering... That was an explodable barrel. No. I didn't know there were explodable barrels.
Yes, there are now.
Alright. Fine by me. I don't think I was gonna make it much farther anyway. Comfort food.
Well, that hurts. Got a series of Fs.
Hard fucking level, man.
Damn. Talk about taking the wind out of your sails. You gotta use that side B.
It's weird because like the bullets kind of like track you, so you have this weird. I don't know. It just feels weird when you're trying to dodge shit.
Manage subscribe to Twitch Prime. They've subscribed for 2 months in a row and we're on a 1-month streak.
Hell yeah. Everyone needs to learn that example and subscribe if you're not already.
Jip just says, shut the fuck up, spicy salts, and I don't know what that's in response to.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. You know that song? Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick.
It just sounds like my inner monologue whenever I'm in public.
You should listen to it. It's a Filthy Frank song. Or a Pink Guy song, once you have it in your mental arsenal, you'll be very glad that it's there.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan.
Well, that didn't yield anything. Just wasted 5 pieces.
Well, shoot some bitches, I guess. Bill Murray and Shade subscribed to Twitch Prime. They've subscribed for 5 months and are on a 5-month streak. Goddamn. This rows are like little remote things aren't working. The notifications are not popping up.
You gotta just go to the edit and then click just like Streamlabs shit off and on. That always works.
You know what sucks? Streamlabs OBS.
What sucks is that even though we know it works, we don't know why. That's what I hate.
Well, maybe that was beautiful. Actually, okay, I was trying to adjust some
Okay, that's a way better tactic than whatever I was doing before. I want to go in there. Right down there. Oh, are you? I was gonna say, see if you can make it as loud as possible, but it sounded like you're already doing that. Shut the fuck up. Stop being a fucking cunt.
while we're streaming. I wanted to adjust the game, but we don't have any game on.
On guard, fuckboy.
I've adjusted our professional equipment.
I'm thinking the key is basically to always use charge shots because they just have like a way more intense effect on the enemy.
They do. Especially with the wave beam, because wave beam doesn't fire very fast.
Yeah, and it stuns them for a while.
Yep.
Also,
Also, do that dodge. You can do that side B. That step, little hop.
I'll remember one day.
I have faith in you.
How didn't you die yet? I shot you with 2 charge shots.
Hatchard subscribed to Twitch Prime.
Who?
Hatchard9.
Did you fix the notification thing?
I guess not. I did it, but it didn't do anything this time.
You turned the Streamlab elements off and on.
I did.
Well,
It's one of those days, I guess.
I usually do it just before we start. I just turn it off and on, but I guess I neglected this time. God, get the fuck away from me, you
fucking
kike.
sucks. Sub hype. Hum and Digi. Fuck food that says it's 100% organic, since all organic compounds are compounds with carbon, and more than 90% of all natural
Agreed.
reactions
You don't have to
carbon in
finish it. I get it. I agree. I really hate when people, like, I hate this conceit that there's, like, a difference between natural and, like, it's like when people say, oh, it has no chemicals. It's like, no, it has chemicals. Like, chemicals...
Yeah.
Everything is chemical.
Everything is chemicals, right. Like, there's...
Green.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I understood they're using this vernacular, I guess.
Yeah, it's annoying. Because it's marketing. It's just a marketing slang.
It's all marketing. It's like how they marketed. It's how they marketed food.
Yeah. So Tom, I'm gonna float this by you, cause and I'll float it by the chat. We can have this as a pre-discussion to a video that I'm planning on making.
Sure.
I want to make a video talking basically in defense, essentially in defense of capitalism,
Sure.
because I do think capitalism is the ideal system. It's just not being done right. And so my theory, my thesis rather, is that the problem with capitalism is a problem of education. It's a problem of people not being educated on how to live in a capitalist system. Because everyone just spends their money in ways that hurt them. Like when we talk about big businesses, who like evil CEOs and shit like that, right? Like, those people only have money because we give them money. They don't just make up having money. We as humans, we decide to spend our money on things that we don't know enough about to know that we shouldn't be supporting the business practices of the people who make it. And sure, most people when they hear about that shit don't care, but they only don't care because they think they can't do anything about it. They don't understand that power comes from everywhere. That everyone is making this possible. So, like, I think that, you know, not to say that there's, like, an easy solution to this, but, like, the first step towards fixing the capitalist system is changing the way we educate people about how to spend their fucking money. You know, just, like, telling people, hey, like, look, I know that this brand may be cheaper, but, like, ultimately it has a negative effect on you to save this money now, you know? And, like, it's because people don't know how to think in long term. Like, in general, it's just, like, really difficult for humans to like, consider long-term consequences of their actions. But, like, that is what education is for, is to teach them that, you know? So, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think there's merit there. It's kind of similar to a video I was considering doing at some point, just saying how I think all companies should be private. There should be no such thing as publicly traded companies. Because all it does is ruin things.
I don't know enough about that to have an opinion. Why? What's your argument?
Privately owned companies can focus on stability and providing the service they're supposed to provide. Whereas a publicly traded company, you're controlled by your shareholders and you constantly have to be growing, even if that growth is short-term and detrimental.
So basically the Jim Sterling rant.
Yeah, I guess.
Because, like, because his capitalism video is also what inspired my idea for this capitalism video, because I feel like he and a lot of people, like, they talk about these companies and their evil practices, and they lay everything at the hands of the company. And I'm like, well, the company only has power because people are buying the fucking product. Like, AAA publishers don't have any power if people don't buy AAA games.
Right. It's the same thing. It's literally, you know, Amazon is the biggest Twitch thought of all, and we're all the dumb guys giving them money. Right,
exactly. That is pretty much my point. What does the chat think about this? Because I'm sure some people have some strong opinion.
Someone said, is this the capitalist version of real communism has never been tried before? Which would be a funny title for the video. Real capitalism has never been tried.
It's not that real capitalism has never been tried. It's that we just aren't... We just... Like, this is not something that I think is, like, fundamental to... Like, I don't think the problem is fundamental to the system. The problem is just that we don't educate people at all about this. And, like, I mean, I think all of the problems with our country basically come down to education problems, that we just teach people the wrong shit. Like, I think it's because in America, we are very, like, resistant to the idea of telling people how to live their lives. Like especially the schools. Like, we don't want schools teaching kids how to live best because it would offend parents who disagree with those ideas, you know?
Sure.
And, like, we're so terrified of, like, offending, like, people who are causing us a problem by feeling that way. Like, people who are causing problems for all of society. But, like, in America, it's like, oh, I want to have the freedom to teach my kid whatever. And it's like, well, then you don't have to put your kid in school. Like, let's make school non-mandatory and then be like, okay, if you're participating, you're going to be educated right, you know? Because we don't need everybody to be on the same page. We just need enough people to be on the same page, you know? It's like, you don't need everyone in the world to be a genius, but we need there to be people who know what's going on and are trying to, you know, course things in the right direction, and like the people who we're putting at the top are not people who are incentivized to do that, you know. But like they're hurting everyone else. It's like by letting the people, like, yes, the rich are evil, but we are letting them do it, you know, is basically my argument.
Yeah, I think there's like, I mean, I'm on board. I think the problem is really not even. There's just multiple issues, right? It's an issue. It's an issue of education and ethics, right? We wouldn't need the education if the people who had the power had any sort of ethical standards, but they don't. So because the system kind of, you know, incentivizes you not to have ethics. So in light of no one having ethics, everyone has to be responsible for their own shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the problem is, like... The
general consensus in the chat, by the way, is that you're going to get blown the fuck out for making this video, because everyone's going to do ape shit about it.
Well, what are they going to say? That's what I want to know. I don't care if people are going to wrongly argue against me. I want to know if there's actually a cogent argument against this.
So Digi likes capitalism when it's not capitalism. Power comes from everywhere. Good point. It's just not the powers that be. The super rich get their money from the stock market or from owning a multitude of companies. It's not like you're paying CEOs directly. Isn't Tom a communist? He is. Comfy philosophy stream followed by comfy economy stream. Feels okay, man. Small state for me. I think reducing the problem of wealth inequality to, well, people spend their money stupidly is going to need some really strong sources to back it up.
This is not about wealth inequality. That's not the problem I'm talking about. It's about that fundamentally people don't know what they are doing with their money. They don't know the power that their money has, and they're not using it in a way that is like cognizant of this, you know? And like if enough people were enough educated about what they're supposed to do with their money, it would change a lot of the essential I'm not going to keep talking because I have to fight an elite pirate.
Captain Burgermaster says
fuck for evasion and quick attacks. So do I just bless this fucker a whole lot? Is that the...
That's usually how it works.
Alright. He looks like Bane.
Looks like Pain.
Doesn't he kind of look like Bane?
A little bit.
Oh, he's doing like a thing.
Yeah, I can absorb your shit with that.
Well, what the hell do I do?
You wait for it to go away.
That's... Ah, shit. I didn't expect it to go so far. Does it heal him when he's doing that shit?
I don't think so.
God, that fucking lasts a while.
Ninja Jet. No one cared who I was until I soaked myself in Phazon.
Oh, that was easier than I expected.
What is your vision of an ideal education system in America? The internet. It already exists.
I think, I just think that, we give too many, technical skills that don't have immediate application when we need to be teaching more life skills.
Right. And I think we don't just because, there are so many businesses that are propped up by your ignorance.
I don't know who's, are people, lobbying for don't teach people life skills?
I think so.
If so, then that's fucking nuts.
But think about how, credit card companies work. As soon as you go to college, all these credit card companies are, give college kids all this money. It's of course, they don't want you to have a high school education on how credit works. Their entire business would fall apart. There's no way they're not lobbying for, keeping, financial skills is something you're supposed to learn at home, you know? I guarantee you. Those companies are up in people's dicks.
Stupid. Because, like, to suggest that is to suggest that the average household has good finances, which is just not the case.
Demonstrably false.
Yeah.
There is a safe point near where you are.
Is it down this tunnel?
It's not. It's in the room you were in, I believe. Somewhere in there. If this is the room I'm thinking of, and I'm pretty sure it is.
It's probably that white door right there. I'm the devil, I love metal. Doesn't the battle music a little bit sound like that? It's like...
Yeah. Ben Saint equals Bernie Sanders. Yo, Bernie's running in 2020.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Fucking amazing. The rematch all of us wanted.
Do you think he'll be able to win this time?
No.
I don't either.
Dude, if Bernie is president, he'll be over 80 by the time his first term is over.
He's younger than Trump.
Dude, they're both gonna fucking die. It's gonna be hilarious. God, I swear I'll stop using the internet for a year when the elections happen. The autism will be insufferable. I hate to tell you, Kappa, it's 2019. The election's in 2020, so the year is now.
Oh my god. You're right.
Yeah, dude.
Time moves so fucking fast.
Doesn't it feel like Trump just got elected?
Yeah, because nothing's fucking happened.
It's almost like it was a nothing burger.
What is this? This is terrifying. Okay, I think it's just like a ramp room.
I believe you go in there, it gets locked, and like acid starts pouring in or some shit.
It looks like there's a... Like, it looks like this is the way I am meant to go.
You are supposed to.
Which makes me think that going the other way would lead to a save point, right?
Maybe. Give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm afraid to go towards the question mark.
It's honestly kind of sad that there's still no directly, bluntly, obviously save point.
Yeah. Semen stains the mountaintops. I don't know why that entered my head. Oh, I can't even fucking progress here without the power bombs.
Well,
worth knowing.
Press F. The president should be a gamer and a JoJo fan.
Oh god.
I mean, give it time.
I bet you could convince Trump to say he's a JoJo fan. Just ask him on Twitter.
Tom, you should watch JoJo Part 5. I heard it was good. What? There's only 1 year left to impeach Trump? Yeah, I know, dude.
I think Trump has pretty good odds of getting reelected, TBH.
I agree. I think he probably will. That's gonna hurt you a lot, by the way. You should just move.
Where am I trying to go to? I'm just going it's just right here. Well then, fuck that hole. I'm guessing there was more to that later. But I don't aim to find it. Oh no, Metroids. Oh great. Well, I've got the ice beam.
It's gonna happen eventually. Pew pew pew. Trump will use D4C5.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
What?
8 years of Trump, hell yeah. There's no way Baron isn't a weeb.
Wasn't there like a thing about that, him having like a Crunchyroll account or something? I remember that getting brought up before.
Maybe? Is that even real?
Yeah, I remember that from like early into him getting elected.
D4C is the stand of the president. Funny Valentine, you got JoJo on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my reaction as well. Did Baron watch Gigi, bro? Maybe he does.
Yo, I got an in with Tramp.
I mean, if he has a Crunchyroll account, he probably watches Jeff.
It's true.
No way. Jeff is a fucking lip cuck.
Oh no, am I gonna have to
And
do all
he's
this?
Canadian.
That's
There's
true.
no
Jeff
way.
is very anti-Trump. Like,
Maybe
very, very, very anti-Trump.
what young adult isn't fucking anti his dad? Baron loves
It's more
Jeff.
likely that he watches like Barack Obama or something.
I'm fucking terrified. There's a bunch of these super soldier.
Did you know that Bin
boxes.
Laden's personal PC had Final Fantasy VII and Naruto episodes on it?
Is that true?
I don't know, but that would be pretty sick. Kind of feel bad that we killed him now.
One of us.
You never found out what happened to Sasuke.
Nope, he never saw the ending. That's for
God
sure.
damn.
I mean, I guess we should say that's what he deserves. It's that that's what happens when you kill a bunch of people. You don't
I
get to
guess
finish
so.
Naruto.
It's true.
I could just, you know, it really puts a whole spin on everything. You imagine them running into the cave, finding him. He's like, "Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it?" He's just like, "To test my abilities," and then they fucking riddle him with bullets.
Is that a line from a...
Quotes his main man Itachi.
I have not seen enough Naruto.
It's like right in the beginning when you find out how the Uchiha clan died.
That's not in the beginning.
Yeah, it is. That's not. It's way before Shippuden or anything.
I never made it through the Chunin exams.
What the fuck?
And the fact that you would consider that early is really funny to me because I read 12 volumes of Naruto, which I would consider to be a lot.
I mean, I made it all the way like halfway through Shippuden. Maybe not halfway through Shippuden. Halfway through Shippuden at that point, which was years ago. So probably like a tenth through Shippuden.
I really hope this isn't a boss.
It's on my bucket list is to finish
Shit
Naruto.
done.
Without the filler, of course, getting a chart.
There's a Naruto like cut on YouTube where you can watch the show with like all bullshit taken out.
What? That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
The bullshit is better than the show, though. I will.
I wouldn't know. Oh my god, what is fucking happening even? What is this? What do I do?
Have you saved yet?
No! There was never a fucking save room. What do I even do?
You gotta not get hit.
Oh my god. How do I hit him? He doesn't show up in my fucking thing?
Do you not have the X-ray? I mean, I haven't got that visor yet.
No, I don't have an X-ray.
He's doing like 1 health tank per kick, so...
What's that? Well, no shit. Is there anything else? What do I fucking do? I can't even fucking hit this thing. This is fucking horse shit. I'm gonna
2
fucking
HP.
definitely fuck.
One energy tank and 2 HP.
I'm completely fucked. What the fuck do I do?
Can you like go down into the thing with bombs? I remember you can go down there at some point, but I don't know if that's now or later.
I don't know. I don't see anything. I can at least roll around and look for answers, I guess. Anybody in the chat, please, do you know how to fight this? Has anybody played this game? What in the fuck do I do?
Can you scan it later?
No, I couldn't scan it because it's fucking invisible. But it also doesn't show up on the thermal radar.
You don't have X-ray yet.
No. Maybe I just need to super missile this core thing? I don't do shit. What the fuck do I do? Should I pause and look it up? Like, I'm fucking stumped.
You just gotta shoot it. There's a leg you can destroy on that generator.
A what you can destroy?
A leg. This is Garbaggio.
Okay, I guess I'm hitting it. I guess sometimes
It's a war of attrition, I suppose.
This is Garbaggio, for sure.
We have 37 energy.
It's like trying to dodge it is like I would not be able to then return fire, so I might as well just fucking keep pounding that fucking fire button.
Well,
I can't believe this is really what the fight is.
this is really fucking weird.
Wow.
I think there's a save in this room. I'm like pretty fucking sure. I wouldn't want to go in there with not any life.
Well, the door is still locked. Oh boy, is there anything I can blow up that has life in it? How is there not any health fucking canisters in this whole fucking room? Garbaggio. Information about how you can't fucking get pets out of. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll bring that up in a bit after I've solved this fucking mystery, because if I die here, I'm gonna be unruly pissed.
You're brave, soul.
Okay, it's not as bad as it looked from the outside. I mean, is there anything to this? Is it actually like a maze, or is it just... go?
I will say, be careful, because if you like go on the, because like those are all tiny little hills, so they will roll you into the fence if you're not exactly in the center.
Oh great, there's some that are like blinking too. Excellent. Water? What does that do? What do I do?
Can you bomb it?
Oh. I guess the water shorted them out.
I guess Oh. Oh, video games. Tense AF. Agreed. This is the real shit right here. I need some of my e-hookah.
No!
It's okay. You only did 6 damage.
Right, so I can take 5 more of those. I assume that you can easily get bounced back and forth between them too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Killing you instantly. This is such a...
Those lasers don't even look like they belong to the world they are inhabiting.
That's not true. They look totally appropriate.
It's just for the memes, dude!
Somebody had said that about Samus in the last stream, and I was like, what are you talking about? She looks perfect.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Pew pew it.
Should I do that? This looks correct. This looks like it might be my guy. If I get this thing and then like a bunch of enemies spawn and I have to kill them before a save point, I'm gonna be furious.
Let's not think about that.
Holy fucking shit. Power bombs, bitch. Get on my level. Get on my
Gigi, have you ever wanted to vape a Red Bull?
No.
Because that's what this is.
What?
Yeah.
You're vaping Red Bull?
It's not really Red Bull, but it tastes just like Red Bull. And flavor was called Red Bull. And I was like, I just don't want something fruity and gay, but it is just a Red Bull. But
That's
a vape.
interesting.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Are you a saver?
It's also like the smoothest thing I've ever had.
You are not a saver. Are you a saver?
Have you ever smoked a Snickers bar? It sounds retarded. So no.
Fuck.
God!
Oh,
They made you work for that.
this is officially the farthest I've ever been in Metroid Prime.
Hell yeah. Big cum.
God damn.
Getting big cums all over the place.
I'll take a bite of fucking Reese's for that. Ugh. How long have we been going for?
An hour and 40 minutes.
I was so fucking tense, it felt like my life. I'm guessing it just wants me to powerbomb all this. Fuck shit.
I think you can like go under and like around them.
Yeah, I thought that powerbomb would do the trick, but guess not.
Yeah, you could have gone down there, I think, and then gone under.
How? I didn't see an opening.
It was to your right.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, there's no reason to do it now, right?
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
Oh well. Oh boy.
Metroid. I am Metroid.
Hey, Tom is back. I am here. I've been here the entire stream.
Oh shit, did I just open it? Metroid! Metroid!
Everybody's flipping shit.
What about? That I actually saved or that there's Metroids?
I mean, everybody in the area right now is flipping
Oh,
shit.
yeah, definitely. As they should be, because it's meat! You might say that this is a prime time for some Metroid.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Did you?
Tom, you should make a video about Neo. Probably. I'm working on a video about Splatoon right now.
We did a video about Neo. It was over an hour long.
It's a podcast. Nobody cares. Just shame because it was a good podcast.
I thought that podcasts were the future.
They are. But they're not the present. You know what I mean?
Shit. You might be right.
That's why you gotta do both. You gotta be ready for the future while still building up the momentum in the present.
Alright, now head all the fucking way back to where you were before.
Yeah, I think you need to phase on suit before you can keep going here. You went all that way just to punk a couple scientists who are working on Metroids, and now you're just turning around.
What are these big shrooms and shit? What is... That looks like a spider ball track that's just there.
It's tempting you. Is this better than the 2D games? Some people think so.
I mean, I would say it's like the same type of game. I don't know. I mean, Super Metroid is one of my favorite games of all time. I think once I've beaten this, I'll be able to say with more certainty whether I think it is, you know, comparable in quality.
talking about JoJo right now. It's pretty gay.
People geek out over some fucking JoJo, man.
I don't get it.
Are you not a fan of JoJo?
I never really tried getting into it, so I can't say if I'm a fan
I mean,
or
it's basically like, I guess the main appeal is that like it's got really crazy, wacky powers and shit. So like, it's just like crazy ideas. Like that's what makes it entertaining. Is that like, it's just full of really insane, over-the-top, crazy ideas. That all, you know, are, everything has enough rules and makes enough sense that it doesn't feel like it's just pulling shit out of its ass. You know what I mean?
I get that.
And people really are down for the aesthetic of it. I don't know. I feel like the main crowd that's really into JoJo is a pretty similar crowd to the one that's into like DBZ and shit like that. You know,
So
just wants to see like big burly dudes beat the shit out.
Weren't you going to do a topic after that precarious hard room?
I don't remember.
About moving.
Oh yeah. So we've been talking. You know, we've been planning to move for a while. Oh, there were fucking boxes I could destroy over here. And you know, we've been doing tons of research and deliberation and trying to figure out where is the perfect place to move. We had all these things we were considering, and then last night, in a psychic brain blast moment, the likes of which have never been seen, a realization for the ages occurred, and all it took was a few moments of research to confirm that it was indeed the ideal place to move to. The #1 best choice in the whole country. Do you have any guesses, Tom?
I have no fucking idea.
Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Virginia Beach is the best choice.
I feel like you've been there before.
I have. And I love it there.
Why did you leave?
Because I lived with my parents. And here's the thing. I just assumed Virginia Beach was expensive. Because I'd always heard it was expensive. Like, people described it to me as, like, being more expensive than, like, you know, like the South or the Southwest. Turns out it's not really. It's not really that expensive. It's pretty much the same cost as living in Austin. But I love the city. The biggest problem with when I lived there is that my dad, like, their house was on the far side of town. So, like, we were pretty far away from all of the cool shit that is in the city. But, like, if we just moved into the center of the city where all the cool shit is, it would be a fucking fantastic place to live. So upon having that realization, we then, you know, like, because we were just kind of, like, joking around. She was like, you know, I've been to Virginia Beach. I really like it there. You know, that could be on the table. And then I was like, well, as far as I know, it's expensive. And then we looked at the housing prices, and as soon as I realized that we could live in, like, the center of the city for the same price as a lot of the other cities we were looking at, I was like, oh, well, it fixes a lot of the problems that we had about moving. For instance, not wanting to move all the way out into the Midwest and be prohibitively far from everybody we know, not wanting to have to pay the amount it costs to move that far, and, like, not knowing the place that we're moving to, because I know Virginia Beach like the back of my hand. And it was just like all of the pieces started falling into place, and we were like, oh, why did we not think of this sooner? Digi
Bros reunion? People are...
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Victor is still there. So, like, you know, all of the opportunity that he affords with his, you know, his expertise and equipment, that would all be within reach, you know? So, like, I could work with Victor again. I know the place. It's a great place to live. I mean, it is, according to Forbes, the best place to live in the United States. So, once I started thinking about it, I got really excited about it. Because I was like, fuck, like, I never thought about it because my two thoughts with Virginia Beach were, one, that I had thought it was expensive because that's what I'd heard, and which is not even true. I guess it really just is a matter of perspective on what you think is or isn't expensive. But
it's like it's not as cheap as some places, but
yeah,
it's like
it's not as cheap
like
as
here.
nowhere, but
Yeah.
it's
a good price for what it is.
Oh, that's right.
For living on the beach.
Yeah.
In a nice area.
So after all that, we're all gonna go back to Virginia Beach.
If I mean, that's what I would
Just
think.
like it's on
Radcon
the
Forever is where Radcon 2 was.
It was really like a huge brain blast moment where like I just hadn't looked at the cost, and then I did, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. And I love it there, and I know everything about it, so it wouldn't be like moving into some, because like one of the things that what the fuck happened? What's going on? What?
Oh no!
What is happening?
You lost signal. Did we die?
No, it's still on.
Did
What is happening? What is happening? Oh!
the Elgato's being a fag.
I don't understand. There was time now. Oh, what's happening? Why is this going?
Getting lots of this is Garbaggio.
This is Garbaggio. Did I fix it? I don't understand! Do you think that the USB thing crashed again?
No, it would have given us a pop-up about it. That one's not plugged into the hub, is it?
The HDMI converter thing is.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
The whole hub or just the...
I would just plug it, just not the whole hub, just the, because we'll fuck the camera if we unplug the whole hub. Ooh. The Elgato doesn't want to go back.
Came back.
Well, it came back on the screen, but it's not back on the stream.
This is Garbaggio.
Why can't we just be normal people playing Fortnite like everyone else and not have to deal with all these extra systems?
Right.
They hear it, they don't see it.
What?
Might have to restart the stream for the last 7 minutes.
We're going down!